Okay, we're recording. So, welcome back, everybody, to the Voice Acting Club. Today is our Friday meeting. Today we're going over our introduction to Audacity, and I'm also explaining what Director's Corner is. As you may remember, I'm the club president, Marcus, and we have a special announcement from a person who was in Voice Acting Club last semester, Chris. Take it away, Chris. Chris, you're up. It's your turn.
Hello?
There you are.
There we go. All right, sorry, I had to stop my car for a second.
Sure thing. What have you got for us, Chris?
All right, so I've been talking. First of all, for those who don't know me, hello, my name is Chris. I am the liaison between a project that's been going on with the Voice Acting Club for about a year now, maybe a bit longer. It's about a zombies Call of Duty mod, and they need voice actors pretty bad. And we've been working with them for a long, long time now, and we have all the main characters, but they're going to have a bunch of new side characters coming out. They're sending me information as of next week. It's going to be big. It's a huge mod already. It's already in the beta, so you guys can go play it right now if you can find it. The mod is called Mont Saint Michel. It's based off a church in France. It's all original plot, all original characters, made from the ground up. It's awesome. And the newest update I have for the Voice Acting Club is that they are getting new characters in. They're all very major important side characters, all important to the plot. So I am requesting auditions, and I will hopefully be going forward with those, hopefully by next week once I get more information.
Or the week after.
Or the weekend, depending on what happens first. I've been super busy looking for a job because I just graduated.
Yeah.
So I'm going back and forth, just trying to do, job searching. I got this, and I got my folio to run, just a bunch of stuff. But this is still very important to me, and the guys I've been working with have been so nice, and they're awesome, awesome guys. And I love to help the Voice of the Club in any way I can, and this is a major project that we're contributing to, and I want to hit the ground running this year and finally finish it next year.
All right, sounds good. So if you have information like places where we can like sign up to do auditions or it's how they're running, that'd
What I
be
can do is this weekend I absolutely can get more information from M and basically the guys I work with, who are the heads of the development team.
yeah,
I can get all the information is going to be sent back to me Saturday, and then I can send all that information to a Google Doc, and I can set up
yeah,
steps of how to audition, how to record them, what you should do, how to send your files, stuff like that.
exactly. And that'll go right in our casting calls channel, right here in the Discord. So that'd be perfect.
Yes, Marcus, who is now our president, yay for Marcus. He is one of the main character voices. He was chosen last year. So if you have any questions pertaining to the process or how much fun it is, please go through him.
Yep, I am one of the main characters. So
It's French.
yes. All right. Anything else, Chris?
That is all I have for you guys right now. I would love to stay on, but I have got to get back to New Jersey. I actually was just in Virginia for business. So I have to head. I'm on the road right now in Maryland, driving my ass off, hopefully getting back safe. So I have got to let you guys go, but I wanted to send an update this week, absolutely, because it's a fun project. It's a really big project, and I want Mason to be represented in this. So.
All right, all right. Well, thank you very much, Chris. We'll let you go now if you have nothing else to say. But yeah. So big opportunity, everybody. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Have a good meeting.
Have a good night, Chris. Okay. There you go. So more information on that coming sometime this weekend, hopefully. If you guys are interested in doing that, there's going to be side characters for the Call of Duty Zombies mod for Black Ops 3 that I'm currently a part of right now. So there's that. Otherwise, let's get into the meat and potatoes, what we're here to learn today. Audacity. Hold up, give me a second. Let me get my stream up. That's my camera. You don't need to see my face. Okay. Here we are. I think that's the right window. I would hope that it is. So, Audacity. It's free. It's a recording thing. Like everybody that starts off, voice acting, it's very important that you learn how to record and edit your own audio, right? Because everybody's like most of the time when you're auditioning, it's completely up to you. When you're actually on a project, you have to send in like unedited stuff or at least lightly edited stuff, and then they have like an onboard audio mixer that's going to be doing the most of the meat. And just reminded me to watch what I'm actually doing. Click the live button next to my name. So I want to go over downloading Audacity first. So download if I can spell, but that's okay. Google will spell it for me. So what you want to do is go to Audacity download, audacityteam.org. Here we are. There's this gigantic window looking thing. It has Windows, Mac, and GNU Linux. So go ahead, and when you get to this website, again, it's audacityteam.org. If you guys, I'm going to copy and paste it in the Clubroom chat just for extra accessibility. There it is, Audacity for Windows. And then what you want to do is click on this little Audacity 2.4.2 installer. You're just going to click on that, and it will bring you over here to another page. It's a bit of a maze, right? Where then you'll be able to download Windows Audacity installer. So maybe I will copy and paste that as well. There we go. And here's where you actually like click it. I already have it installed, so I'm not gonna have to like do that, but you get the point. Now that we have it installed, let's actually go over the window. So allow me a second to edit a couple things. Oh, I should have been capturing something. Whoopsie. So, yep, there's the download thing. I'm just pointing it out for the video. Let me go to here. All right, and let me change the windows over here as well. Remember, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the Clubroom chat. Change windows. Hopefully it shows up. Yep. All right, this is Audacity. Real simple. Mine looks a little bit different. It's only because I changed the theme. I don't know how to go back. Preferences. I'll show you what it looks like. This kind of base interface. I have it on dark theme, but here's the classic one. Well, maybe I don't want that classic. Bonus points. Learn how to change your actual interface here. Light mode. There we go. This is what. Well, maybe not. Give me a second to figure my stuff out. I forget what a default Audacity looks like. We'll just go with classic. Why not? That's fine. It'll look something like this. It doesn't really matter. It does change the buttons though. Here we go. I'm gonna go. I'm so bad. We'll go with just like this is what it looks like default. I'm sure. Anywho, so let's go over the basics. Up here is gonna be like your big command deck over here. All this other stuff, right? It's not really that important to you right now. The biggest thing is that you know what these buttons do, how to work them. So when you're actually recording, first you need to make sure you actually have like a input. So currently this is going to my microphone in my recording closet that's hooked up to my audio interface. More on what that is at a later meeting. I'm just going to use the microphone I'm talking to you guys right now. It's this one. So this is your input right here. All this stuff doesn't really matter. The MME, I'll keep it on MME for right now. What you're going to want to do is make sure you're recording in mono because stereo has directional sound, and it can make things a little complicated when you're actually recording stuff. If you record in stereo when you don't actually have a stereo setup, so make sure it's on mono. And then this is whatever the sound from the window is going to output into your headphones. So right now it's going to go to my headset, which is linked to my audio interface as well. So let's just record something basic. I could just do that right here. So to start recording, you can either hit the R key or press the record button up here. So let's get something basic. Hello, this is me testing out the Audacity recording workspace. Real simple, just press the R button and start recording. As you can see right now, my input volume is way too high. So let me turn that down real quick. You can see like how it is monitoring kind of up on the top right over here. So for most recordings, you're going to want to be around -12 to -6. So let me just Increase again. So around here was a good talking volume, I feel. When you have these, like, I guess we'll take a better look at like the actual thing. So this is your spectrogram. Um, Basically shows you how loud your audio is at different points. As you can see, as we zoom in here, whenever it has like a little red dash here, that means that you've clipped your your microphone, meaning that you've given it too much input that it distorts the sound because it's so loud. So it's something you kind of want to avoid. Here, let me record this again. However, this time I'm hopefully not going to clip all over the place. All right, I'm trying again to hopefully not absolutely destroy my microphone this time with my obnoxiously loud voice. All right. So yeah. So now it's on a little bit on the quiet side. Like usually your talking should be a little bit like around the 0.5 mark. So it's a little quiet, but it's always better to raise the volume than to quiet it down. So there's that. Now let's go over like actually editing the audio line. So just for example's sake, say that you're kind of like, you're talking, then you have like a sneeze. Yeah. So maybe imagine this side it's like audio. By the way, that sneeze is fake, by the way. And then you have more audio on this side. That sneeze, you don't want that sneeze, in your actual audio here. You want to get rid of that. So in order to like edit stuff around, what you could do is just highlight it. It's like the actual sneeze. And then you can either cut it out or press the delete key in your keyboard. What bam, that's gone. Easy peasy. Remember, if you guys have any questions about what exactly I'm doing, please ask me. I'd like to, clarify. So there's that. Easy peasy. Now imagine, let's say you wanted this section of audio somewhere else. What you can do is you can cut it out. So Control X or Command X if you're on Mac. And then you can put it somewhere else. Let's say you want to put it here at the beginning. Bam, now it's there. It's basically like editing a text document, but with sound. It's not that difficult. It's one of the things that makes Audacity really user-friendly. You just come in here, you press a button, you speak, and then you can fiddle around with it like kind of any way you want, really, too. So there's that. Just make sure you have your... So a couple common problems that people have with Audacity is their audio not getting picked up. Make sure your input is the correct one. It's coming to the microphone that I'm using to talk to you guys right now. And then make sure that you can actually hear yourself by making sure that this volume here is not on 0. And make sure it's going to actual speakers. So there's that. Let me look at this real quick. All right. So Audacity also comes with like a nice library of effects that you can use to edit your audio and make it look better. So let me just play this real quick. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear this, but we'll see what happens. All right. I'm trying again to hopefully not absolutely destroy my microphone this time with my obnoxiously loud voice. All right. Could you guys hear that? Let me know in the Clever Room chat real quick.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So as you guys can kind of hear, let me just like highlight this section and play it. You can hear a little bit of background noise there. Now, Audacity's like kind of a built-in function that kind of reduces this. So let me play it one more time. You kind of hear that background noise. So what you want to do to eliminate that is go into one of Audacity's many effect tracks. So there's this big effect menu. There's a lot of stuff here. A lot of this stuff, I'm going to go over the ones that you're really going to need to know. What you're going to need to know is amplify, noise reduction, normalize. These are kind of like your bread and butter. Once again, amplify, noise reduction, normalize. I'll go over all what those do. So we'll start with noise reduction first. When you first get it, it's going to pop up a little window. I'm not sure if you can you see the little like noise reduction window? If not, I might have to, okay. That's fine. Let me change my window then. What? Here's what it looks like. A little small window. Basically, it takes 2 steps to do this. So first, you need to highlight an empty section of your audio. So we have this little blank space up here. That's fine. Basically, you're gonna get that background noise level. It's basically gonna take like a sample of that background noise and know what to filter out here. So you're gonna hit Get Noise Profile. That's gonna close my stream. That's okay. I can open it right back up. Sorry about that, folks. Just had to press the live button again. Um,
Okay.
Now, basically, I'm going to have to open that menu again. So let's go back to noise reduction. You know what it looks like at this point. And then it's going to have the step 2 thing here. I will send a screenshot in the chat just so you can look at it. Kind of know what I'm talking about. You see step 2. You have all these settings right here. I'd recommend these. If you jack it up too much, it's going to be too invasive and you're going to have degradation in your audio quality. So after that, you just saturate the noise profile. Remember, you have to highlight, click Get Noise Profile, then go back in the menu again, and then you can hit OK. And, well, first of all, you hit the highlight, let me just delete these little sections right here. First, highlight the whole audio, right? Because if you only apply it to one section, it's going to, there we go. Now let's listen to it again. You see that? There's noise there before. Now there's not any noise. Very helpful. Keep in mind, just don't do it too much. Like, if your background is, like, really messy, it's going to degrade your audio quality. So let me just play this real quick. I'm trying again to hopefully not absolutely destroy my microphone this time with my obnoxiously loud voice. Then you have, but yeah, you can see it's a lot better. There's not as much background noise. A lot of audio professionals will say that it's a little too much. I feel like I can get better audio just doing it. Like, I know, obviously the best case scenario is that you have a background noiseless environment. But if it comes to, it's definitely serviceable to, like, reduce the background noise. Now let's go over a couple other things. The other two kind of important ones to know. So as you can see, this section of audio right here, you have like a sneeze. It's very, very funny audio. It's a bit quiet. Again, you want to be in that -6 to -3 range. So let's amplify it a bit. Amplify is basically what you use to turn up the volume on something. Now, I wouldn't mess with the slider here. It's a little confusing. You want to set your new peak amplitude. Peak amplitude is, if you look up over here where the monitoring thing is, basically like that value is where the maximum of a given clip of audio that you've selected, basically the loudest it ever gets. So I like to set it up here. So let's try -5. So now that I make it a little bit more acceptable, a little bit louder, then you have like a sneeze. Right. It's gonna sound loud to you in your audio station, but when you actually like export it, which I'll go over in a minute as well, it's gonna make a big difference. So another thing that's important is normalization. Basically, if you don't want to just jack up the volume, you want to make sure that you want to equalize your volume in the up or down direction. There's a thing called normalization. So highlight the whole thing. You don't have to. You can do this on sections of audio as well. Normalize. Basically, what this does is it's kind of like amplifying, but it can go either direction. It can only actually amplifying can go either direction as well. But basically, it's just kind of an algorithm that will make your audio balanced audio-wise towards whatever peak amplitude it is. But it won't make all of the audio that kind of. Usually setting it to -3 will get you the job done. So let's just do that. And there you go. First, for frame of reference, whenever you're just kind of normally talking, it should be about, it shouldn't be any more either up or down direction. If you're a little bit louder, let me just say like you're shouting or maybe you're singing. I'll amplify this a little bit. Boink. It's going to be a little bit closer to this. It shouldn't be clipping. That red line means that you've gone too loud, but maybe it should be a little bit, a little bit more than just talking. Allow me to get some water in my system real quick. Okay. Now that we've gone over kind of the major components, let's go over actually saving your work. Unless you have any questions so far. Already have any questions? Okay, moving on. So, actually save your work is a big difference here. So, when you're actually saving in Audacity, you can save your project. I'll click on that. Yep. However, keep in mind that this is not an audio file. It is a project file for Audacity when you use that menu. And then you can save it as whatever. It's kind of like, saving a Word document at this point. Save it wherever. Name it whatever. If you actually want to get an actual audio file out of Audacity, you need to go to the export menu. So let me export this as, you can see the export menu, right? Let me just double check. Can you see the export menu? Somebody that's watching.
Yep.
Okay. So either as MP3 or WAV. Most of the time, it doesn't really matter. Just keep in mind that MP3s are a lot more compressed than WAVs. WAVs are lossless, meaning that you don't lose any audio quality, but sometimes your casting calls that you, when you're even reading them, will specify one or the other. Skyspore is an MP3. Okay. There's a couple of things I need to point out, so let me change windows real quick to this screen. All right. That's my University Corral folder. Here's my Audacity folder. So you can name it whatever. Make sure you're saving it as an MP3. M4A is also works, but it's not as common, or a WAV. When it comes to like actually submitting audio, I recommend that you have the quality at insane. It doesn't increase the file size as much. It's still much less, still much more compressed than an actual like WAV file, but you won't lose as much quality. So make sure you're setting as MP3, and the quality is at insane. That usually gets the job done, and then you can go boink. Oh, I forgot I closed that window. Sorry about that. Let me get that back up again.
Okay.
That's my camera. What's up, everybody? That's me. That's me. There you go. Now I have a face. That's crazy, huh?
That's our president. Who knew he had a face? I sure didn't.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually pretty faceless year round. And we just open up Audacity again. Sorry I had to make you do this again, but that's alright. Uh, After that, it's going to bring up some weird metadata tags. If you really care about filling it out, you can, but you don't have to. I'll show you what it looks like in Klepper. Womp. That's what it looks like. You can just press OK. You don't have to do anything else. All right. So, a couple more things. A lot of times you'll have to record multiple lines. Now, obviously, you can't keep it all in one line unless they want you to do that. But if you want to make a new audio track, what you want to do is come over here to generate. I'm just kidding. Tracks. Here it is. So when you're adding new tracks, it's basically like another separate line. Imagine this is kind of like again, kind of like a text file, but for a sound. So you're gonna add a new mono track. It gives you a fresh, new, clean audio thing. So if you have also if you're like mixing both visual like vocals and music together, you do it on a separate track. You can't do it on the same track because it's less editable. So that's how you make another track. Again, I recommend doing a mono because if you record in stereo, it's going to cause problems along the line. Otherwise, there is that. Another thing that's cool about Audacity is if any of you guys work with other like plugins and stuff, it doesn't have to be, it can be music, it could be voice related plugins. It has like a built-in thing where you can import plugins from other programs. So ARC7 is an audio repair program basically that like it fixes like kind of bad audio. If you want to import plugins that you guys already have from other like digital audio workspaces or programs, you can go over here and it'll look through your PC for these like programs. So ARC7 is right there. As long as it's installed somewhere on your PC in the same drive where Audacity is installed. So if you just, a lot of these are like built in, but some of these are for a different program. Oh, I just realized you guys couldn't see that window. Allow me a moment to show you that window. But, okay. And hopefully I will remind myself to switch the window back before I close it. Okay, so it looks like. Any plugins that are installed on like the same drive where your plugins are will be here. There you go. So you need to see. And this time, before I make you guys have to click the live button again, I'll put it back over here. Perfection. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? This whole tutorial. Any questions? General understanding? Let me know in the Clever Room chat.
Never mind. I was gonna say
Shy.
I'll do it later.
All right. I'm assuming that it makes. I just want to make sure it makes sense. People are saying that they don't get it. So, uh, yeah, there's that. Anything you guys want me to re-go over? There's a couple more things I can talk about. So again, the big pointers. This is the recording button. Of course, it's what actually records things. You can pause mid-recording. Um, Basically, this red line means that you're still recording, and then you can, you know, resume recording if you really feel like it. There's a couple of you can do that. If you want to stop recording, you can either hit the red recording button again, or you can hit the stop button. There you go. If you're in the middle of a track and you want to navigate to the front or the back, you can use the skip buttons. And you actually want to play your audio. They hear my disgusting mouth noises. You can hit the play button there, and you can kind of click around and do whatever. These little like schisms right here is like giant lines are usually created when you either cut out a section of audio or paste one in. They're just kind of like little sections. So if you have different lines or whatever, and you like stop recording and then start re-recording, it'll make this little schism here. You can get rid of it by just clicking on it, but maybe you just want to keep it there for right now. Also, keep in mind you can only edit audio when you're actually not recording. So make sure if you're trying to edit something and it's not working, you hit this little square button first, and then you can just do whatever. So there's that. Yeah. Did you want to bring anything else up, Joseph? I know you had something to say.
What I had to say was a joke.
Oh, go ahead.
So, in case you want to remember in case you need to remember the prime amplitude for Audacity, just listen to this.
Oh boy.
I have it time stamped.
Oh boy.
um, Basically, what the video you just posted is a So last year we had scripts that were submitted by our club members, something that hopefully you guys will do at some point, and we basically put our voices to them. This is the blooper reel for the group that I was in. Um, I recommend that you don't listen to it because I find it extremely cringy, but also hilarious. But you guys can listen to it on your own time.
The
I
negative
was
6
ripped.
song is a real banger. Now this brings me to the actual question I had. Marcus, when you showed me how to use Audacity the first time, you mentioned this technique about whenever you make a blunder or a blooper or anything like that. I know in our speeches we recorded, you started like clapping to mark where it was. Can you
Yeah.
demonstrate
So
that
yeah,
for the crowd?
absolutely good. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot. So a little bit of a pro tip here. I'll start on a new line because I can do so. Into the front. So say you're recording a line, you make a little funny. So it's just like the man was walking down the
All right,
street, and
I'm
then
trying
he.
again to hopefully not.
Another thing, important lesson. Whenever you have multiple lines, you have to make sure that you click the solo button so you don't accidentally play the other line while you're recording. Good to know. I forget that every time. So whenever you want to focus on just one track, hit the solo button. So let's say I'll just record like a line on the top of my head, and I'll try to make like a fake mistake. So the line is, the man is walking down the gentle and quiet street. Say I screw up the word in there. So for example, the man is walking down the gentle and uh, mm. All right. So right there, that's the blunder. So I'm just like this little like interjection that I have. What you want to do, right? Because you don't want to stop the recording and restart. It's just difficult. And especially if you're in like a location where you're just recording, you're not at your computer all the time. You just want to be able to just like edit it out later. So what I would do is clap. And see right here, that clips the audio intentionally, so that way you know. So sometimes when I'm like recording in my closet, I had to enter I had to open the door and close it behind me. And I want to be able to know exactly where that noise stops. So let's say I finished entering my closet. I'll like double clap to mark that I've you know finished doing the setup work. So basically, in between takes that are like screw ups, it's good to clap because it lets you know that, yeah, here's where I fucked up. I can just edit that out. Easy peasy. That's a great tip to know. And thank
Like
you
the
for
clap quotes they use in movies.
yeah. Thank you for reminding me, Ian.
You're
Otherwise,
welcome.
that's all I really have to say about Audacity. And then I have to bring up something else that we're doing as a club called the Director's Corner. But before I move on, one last time, does anybody have any questions about Audacity related things? Very good. All right. We'll move on to the Director's Corner explanation. So if you guys look at the calendar, let me just close Audacity real quick. Don't want to save this project. Okay, make sure Streamlabs is open. There it is. You can see in week 2, whenever you meet, there's a thing called the Director's Corner. I wonder if I will have that week 1 be COD Zombies things that Chris announced earlier. Otherwise, let me just get attendance real quick. Allow me, my secretary couldn't make it today. Oh, I should have put that in Friday minutes. There we go. Basically, the Director's Corner is our day where I will go out on the internet and find a casting call, much like, if I can real quick, this one I have right here. This is an example, so go ahead and click that like button again. I'm sorry for making you do this so many times. However, it's necessary to show you guys everything on a virtual format. It would be a lot easier over Zoom, but I'm too much of a boomer to use Zoom. I guess too much of a Zoomer to use Zoom, if that makes any sense. Okay, so here's castingcall.club. It's kind of a website where you can go to find voice acting related projects. So I found one that's kind of like high quality looking. There's a lot of garbage. A lot of one of our meetings like going over casting calls and stuff. Which ones are good? Which ones are bad? So this one's called The Bee's Adventure. It's a short animated film about a girl named Bee. That's all we need to know. So basically, I would find something like this, and as you can see down here, if this is your first introduction to Casting Call Club, let me explain the website a little bit. Essentially, it's like a forum, kinda, where people could go work for both paid and unpaid voice acting jobs. Real kind of like quick and simple. If you want to get yourself out there, it's definitely a good website to check out. Twitter's also a great like place to find casting calls if you know where you look. That's something else I'm going to go over in a later week. So, scroll down over here. Here's where the actual the actual auditioning parts are. Basically, as you can see, there's characters here. This one's B, and there's Ray. I'm going to try to find projects that have both male and female roles. That should be 4 total for each gender here, so plenty of inclusivity. Maybe I think it's 5 actually. Now, what's important to know, this is a skill that we're going to talk about more, is knowing how to interpret a character based off of what description that the director gives you. So, some keywords to look at here. The protagonist, sure. Important to your character, kind of, but it doesn't really tell you that much about what she is. So, when you use descriptors like bubbly, overly optimistic, and puts her faith blinding others, right? Well, that on paper doesn't tell you exactly how she's like. It should give you a sense of how her overall character is. Kind of very openly and friendly to other people, regardless of what they do to her. So, yeah, keep that in mind. So, also, there's so a lot of times they have a voice pitch thing. They'll tell you what range you want to talk in for, so it's going to be different for males and females, right? A medium high female voice may just be like, I don't know, their normal talking voice, but for a male, you may have to go up or down in your range. Again, it could be the same for females. Again, I don't know. I ain't one, but just keep that in mind. It applies to both things. Medium to medium high, I would say, is probably a given person's normal talking voice. If you have to go down a little bit lower, this is probably like somewhere in the lower range. I don't know if we talk at this volume, but a lot of people that want like a lower voice, especially something more like this, kind of like a bass voice. If you're like a vocalist of any sort, this is what we consider a bass. And then like someone that talks kind of up here, this is like the medium to high kind of range for a dude. Again, I'm not a female, so I can't like really express it in a way that would make sense to girls. However, you kind of get the point. You go up or down based on what the voice pitch is telling you. Um, After that, casting call club will usually kind of give you a bunch of lines. So, and also a good casting call will give you like how you're supposed to say the line. That's another reason why I chose this one. That's kind of an example. Also, they have accents. Usually, most of the time, it'll just be like North American, meaning you can speak. You don't have to speak in a specific nationality. Um, so let's look at this first line. Excited like a giddy child. So it's important to have like a general overall idea of a character. It's also very important that you deliver a line in a certain mood. If you know, a lot of characters are multifaceted in other ways that just not their personality. They have different mannerisms and stuff, and they say things with different emotions, different moods, depending on the part in the project or piece of literature, game, whatever they're doing. And you'll have this line right here. So basically, what you're doing in Director's Corner is you're going to be looking at whatever character you want to voice, whatever. You could have Audacity open to record yourself doing this. Keep in mind that some casting calls have requirements. So yeah, it's important to know that they prefer XLR and USB. That's okay. I'm gonna try to find calls that will accept just USBs. It's difficult if you don't have a USB microphone to get in the door. I feel that's something I'm gonna go over at a later time as well. Um, but yeah, basically what you do is you practice a couple of these lines on your own, and then I would sit in the voice call on a later day, like a Friday meeting, and then you would give it your best shot at portraying the character and the lines, basically. Because one of the things you need to know as a voice actor is how to take feedback and direction, and it's hard to do that when you're just throwing your voice at a director who has another 128 auditions to go through. You're never going to get the feedback you want. So I feel like it's important that I do you guys a service, and if you want to get feedback on how you're doing as a voice actor, like how your acting skills are and are, I think this is an important thing to go to the director's corner meetings, because then you can practice. You can submit your audio if you feel like you want to. No pressure if you don't want to. But again, it's all about a club about improving ourselves as actors and voice actors. So basically, you practice these lines. You give me over a voice call your best shot at it, and to the best of my ability, I'll give you feedback on how I would interpret the character or things that you could change. It's important to seek feedback from other people because sometimes you can't objectively look at yourself. And also another thing to consider is that we as humans, we criticize ourselves more than other people. So while it may sound awful to you, it may sound great to other people. It's up to the director. So it's also building that frame of reference to kind of not be ashamed of what you're doing. It's just important to have the mindset of what may necessarily be not up to my buzz. What might not be up to my standards in my head might be perfectly adequate for other people. It's important that this is not a perfectionist hobby or career. If you get stuck at being perfect, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to It's okay to be not great at first. It's all about seeking the feedback and improving yourself over time. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about what the director's corner is. This is like a little bit of a shorter meeting. So what I'm gonna do now is kind of just kind of unmute you guys and we'll have a little bit of a chat. You know, welcome back to the real world, everybody. If you guys want to unmute yourselves, have a little conversation. All right, hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Adequate.
Ruth Ginsburg died.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I heard about that. I just heard about that too.
Fun.
We're all gonna die.
What's happening?
Mortality
Um,
exists, guys.
the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. 87.
It's looking like a really bad day for women's rights.
What?
Anywho, before we get too off topic, I want to ask you guys, did you guys understand kind of what I was explaining about Audacity earlier? Did that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, how to use it and whatnot.
Okay, so making sure that I did an adequate explanation. Do you guys have any
You
like?
did very adequate. You did better than adequate, Marcus. You did well.
Oh, thank you very much. Do you guys
Give
have
you
any?
a red gold if this wasn't Discord.
Yeah. You guys have any questions to ask about what the director's corner is, or just Audacity things, or what else they're going to be doing? Let me know.
Yeah, what format does the file usually save as on Audacity?
Okay, so defaultly, let me open it up real quick. I believe it doesn't save. It doesn't really have like a default. So when you export it, there's an export button, and you can choose which file you want to export it as. Usually, the baseline is an MP3. The kind of the baseline for all audio recordings is usually MP3.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the casting call that you have, it could require a WAV. A lot of times, it will tell you one or the other. A lot of times, it'll tell you, I don't really care, both. Just don't send it. Don't send it in like an audio format that they don't want.
Okay, gotcha.
Do we have any questions on? I know I went over some of the effects that you can use, like noise canceling and normalization and everything. Does anybody else have any other questions about the effects in Audacity? All right. Is anybody unsure about the quality of their recording space?
I'm always. Should I just go in my closet?
Okay, we can go over that right now. We have some extra time. I knew this one was going to run a little bit short on like basic content. All right. Well, thank you for coming, Ian Montalvo. I hope to see you again on Monday. Thanks for coming, man. Have a good one. Basically, here, let me get like a. Let's get Paint open. Let's get weird with it. Let me get this up real quick. Go ahead and that's my video again. Whoops.
It's alright.
Nice. I didn't even have to sub for the face reveal.
I know, right? Here we are. Here we are in Paint. Let me just like expand this.
Of software.
Now, most people don't have a walk-in closet. Say you have just kind of like a. Let's get the line tool out. You've got. Okay. It's kind of like one of the. I don't know. Paint sometimes doesn't want to cooperate with me. There we go. You have one of these closets, right? Where you just kind of have there. Got three sides. A good way to record audio is to have soft things around it all. I'll go over a couple of audio. Actually, let me just make this box real quick, just to explain general acoustics, because it's important to know when you're to consider a recording space. Just click off of this real quick. You know what? What am I even doing? I could just use the box tool. Whop! There we go. So we'll say this little circle in the middle here is your microphone. Everything around the microphone is kind of empty space. Let me see if I can move this. Get the. Okay, no. Select. There it is. This is your microphone. So these are kind of like all blank walls. So there's this principle of reverb, meaning when you project your voice, it bounces off of these walls and returns back into here. So say that you project your voice kind of like this way. Okay. Didn't expect it to go like this. I think I get it now. So, okay. There we go. Project your voice up at this wall. What's gonna happen is it's gonna whoops, I didn't mean to do that yet. No. Bear with
So-
me. There we go. Oh my goodness.
The curve tool is just a pain to use. Just use the regular brush, honestly.
Yep, fair enough. When you project your voice, that's the pencil. Brush up this way. It's going to bounce off this wall and go back into your microphone. So the word echo is used to describe this. It's really called reverb. Now, when it's important to consider your recording space, you want to have a space that has a bunch of soft things. So not going to reflect it. So like bare drywall and concrete and like wood are all going to throw sound back at you. However, let's just let me just do some deleting real quick. Just like mop this up real quick. And then let me select this and copy and paste it. Slide it down over here. Say you had a recording room where you had this giant brown blanket. Excuse my voice for failing there. You had this like giant brown blanket against this wall instead. It's thick. It's like a super like soft and like thick blanket.
Like a big comforter.
Yeah, a comforter would be a good example. When you throw your voice at this thing, say it goes through your microphone, that should not be brown. It's gonna get sucked up by that wall. And either the voice coming back is much slower in amplitude or it's just not there at all. So, yeah. That is the general like principle you should have when you're making recording space. So, if you don't have a closet, i.e. my dorm people, what you can do is make something kind of like this. So, the purple here is going to be like a pillow, essentially, like a body-sized pillow. Imagine. So you have like a little kind of like a little ring that you make like this. You put your microphone in the middle here. And then you kind of put another pillow on top of it. We'll get like a little cross section going here. Get like another pillow like this. So it's like a giant pillow fort. This is like a cheap, almost unless you don't have like the pillows or whatever. You can just with regular sized pillows as well, but it's not as easy because it's important you also give your space for your microphone to breathe because otherwise you sound too boxy. You sound like you're in like a 3-inch cube. So having something like this is a great way to reduce reverb because you yourself, I guess I'll just put a star for ourselves here. We're standing right here, throwing your voice into there. And this is why I don't use paint. It's a pain in the ass. Okay. Whoops. Whatever. You get the point. You're standing right there. When you have a closet, so let me go back up to just like the brush. So this is like a general closet. You've got clothes or whatever in here. It's probably got like a door or sliding door on it. Essentially, what you want to do is have, if you don't have a microphone on a stand, by the way, it's a bit more difficult to do this. You don't have to have a stand for the pillow arrangement, but if you're doing it in just like a closet, you have your microphone, preferably on a stand. It's not very expensive. You can get one for like $15 on Amazon, 25 for a more sturdy one. Let me get the microphone out. Microphone's here. Essentially, you want to have your microphone kind of near the clothes, but not in them, because otherwise you're going to get, one's going to rustle up against it, and hold up. Right, okay, let's put it like there. I'll have like a better example of this if I like, if I had my camera, like my phone camera webcam working, which I haven't managed to get to work for a while, I would show you like a physical example, but since that's not working, I don't have the time to do it. Basically, you want to nestle your microphone up, kind of not like in your clothes, but really close. Because then that when you're projecting your voice out into this little ether of clothing, all that reverb and stuff's gonna get sucked right up, and it's gonna be a nice, better audio recording. So there's that to consider as well. That's kind of like a general lesson on acoustics. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So some more kind of like ideal audio setups, or when you have the walk-in closet. So imagine, let's go back up to this box up here. This is what my closet looks like, pretty much. It's a bit more rectangular, but on all sides, I have like a huge blanket. I think Ian has actually seen my recording closet. So
You
right,
did
Ian?
show it to me.
Yeah. Basically got blankets on all sides. It's not perfect, by the way, because they don't go up to the ceiling all the way. And then I
Yeah.
have kind of like a a thing on a hanger right here. I'll put like a off to the side. I can kind of stretch this across as I need to stretch it across because the door is like right here. It's where the door is. I'll write a note. Here's where the door is. I also have a clothing and stuff on this side because it's still a closet. But essentially, the ideal setup for our home thing is that you have your microphone here. Then you got softness on all sides. I even have one that's kind of like drenched. It's kind of draped over the top. It's kind of dark in there, but that's all right. Also kind of stuffy, but that's all right. The prices you pay as voice actors. Um, yeah, that's kind of what my recording set looks like, and I'll make sure to make some recordings in there at some point. I know that I will, and I know that I want to showcase the difference between just recording out in like an open room versus something like that, just so you guys can like get like, a tangible difference. Otherwise, that's all we have to say about general acoustics. So, anything else you guys want to know about? Alrighty then. Um, I'll just get some general things before we close the meeting up for tonight, and a little bit early. At some point, I will have my script writing style guide for my creative types. For if you want to submit a script for club activities, which we will start doing on next Monday. We'll actually get some exercises in. Not next Monday, the Monday after the next one, the 27th or 28th. Um, I'll have my style guide for that up and running pretty soon. I will have a kind of like a yeah, like kind of a guidelines thing for that.
I
Otherwise,
suppose. Or,
what were you saying? In? Go ahead.
I suppose this question should wait until Monday, but will there be any like script theme events this semester like there was the last two, if I remember correctly?
What do you mean?
Uh like I know you posted in the club room chat the insert hero group name here. That was part of some kind of campaign last year about superheroes, right?
Oh yeah, we pick our themes. Yeah, we can do something like that. I'll probably add like addendum and on to a meeting or something.
Okay.
Here, actually, why not? I'll add that to week 2 Monday meeting plus um, writing themes. Doink. There we go. That'll be kind of a quick thing to go over. Otherwise, unless you guys have anything else to kind of add or anything, this will be it for today's meeting. All right. It's good to see everybody come out today. Hopefully, you learned something a little bit about audio recording and such. And don't forget, we do meet every other week. So I will see you guys on Monday, the 28th, same time, 7:30. Otherwise, club meeting's over. Oh, I hope to see everybody later time.
All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Have a good evening, everybody.
You too.
And have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes.
Goodbye.
See you guys around.
See ya. No, I'm showing the recording.